Hey guys, I'm CJ.
And I'm Noah.
And this is the long box for July 12th, 2013?
June 12th.
I should have corrected you before you said that.
Oh well. Alrighty, so before we get into the reviews,
Kingdom Hearts 3?
we can talk about that on Sunday. Before we get into reviews,
I've got a doozy.
Denise, sorry.
okay, before we get into reviews,
Yeah.
I have some news for the show. So as most of you may or may not be aware of, the History of Comic Heroes, which is another one of our shows that we do here on TV Pop Culture, has just finished its Nostalgia Month, which unfortunately took longer than a month. But regardless of that, that has now ended, and I am glad to announce that the Long Box will finally be having its Nostalgia Month come July. So what that means is each episode, me and Noah will each be reviewing one older comic book, either made in the 90s or before, and one new comic book, which has come out for that week. So I guess with that, what do you have for reviews?
Okay, you know what? Just as a teaser for Nostalgia Month, I might end up reviewing Youngblood #1, and I might just start a new ass. Rob Liefeld's a hack, okay? Just like Joe Quesada.
Everyone knows that. You're stating the obvious again.
Okay, so for me to review, I have the prelude comic to Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, I'll get into my opinions about this later. And we have a delicious issue of Vampire Strikes, issue 5. Why are you shaking your head?
No reason.
Obvious reason.
Anyways, I've got for...
I'm entitled to a date night, CJ. I mean, what?
Anyways, I've got the New 52's Superman Unchained, which I have to say, if nothing else, the art styling is better than the Unbound movie. Seriously, their heads look like giant rectangles. And Harbinger Wars #3, where we are reintroduced to the Hard Corps. Shut up, Noah. So, do you want to go first, or should I?
So, for The Dark World, the prelude comic, issue 1 of 2. Now, I don't know, like, I'll just summarize, like, what happened in this issue, because it's supposed to be a prelude to the new Thor movie that's coming out on November 8th.
Okay.
But it doesn't really offer anything new story-wise. Okay, so it starts in the Nine Realms, and everything's just, like, gone to shit. Everything's been thrown out of whack. The Troll Kings are warring with each other, and Mandors are killing each other, I guess. It's crazy, like, ridiculous. And then we cut to Asgard, and, you know, you see Idris Elba's character, I forget his name, talking to Thor and Odin, and apparently, this crazy shit is meant to be or something, because it's like the world's nature to move forward towards Ragnarok. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched Thor, but
Sure.
yeah, sure, let's go with it. But anyway, so then we see Loki's mother.
I think I'm just going to interrupt you for a moment there. For anyone who's not familiar with Thor, you should also be kind of, I guess, accepting of whatever they say in this, because this is also the same comic book where there's a rainbow bridge.
That's true, very much true.
Yeah, so
That
just
being
putting
said,
that out there.
So then we cut to Loki's mother, of all people, and she is spying on her son, I guess, telepathically, and she sees that he's making a deal with Thanos and the Chitauri, and then it's sort of cut, and then we cut to Dr. Jane Foster, who is trying to reopen the Bifrost wormhole so that Thor can come back, even though he said he'd come back for her in the Thor movie.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay. What does this have to do with the new movie, I'm wondering?
So it's kind of like a giant WTF?
I remember
So far, yes, but it gets even worse. Because then we cut to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters.
Okay, so are we talking like, okay, so when you say worst, are we talking like Clone Saga worst or like Death of the Family worst?
somewhere in between.
Okay.
So
Wanted to make sure.
we cut to friggin' S.H.I.E.L.D. and we see Hawkeye and Nick Fury opening up the portal with the Tesseract, and Loki comes out, which was the opening scene in the Avengers. So then we cut back to Thor, and apparently Odin's using some dark energy to Thingamabobber to send him back to Earth. And while he's getting...
So they got lazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while he's flying through, like, some dimensional Stargate or some shit, Captain America is fighting Loki, and then Iron Man comes in with AC/DC playing it on the jet going, I'm back and back, and then it's just like... And then it just cuts to Thor's hammer sitting on the ground saying to be continued. I'm like, what the f*** is this shit? This has nothing to do with the new movie.
So rating?
Burn and piss on the ashes. Not worth $2.99.
Wow.
It does. All it recaps is like the last half of Thor and then like the first like 30 minutes of the Avengers. Where's the new villain, Malekith? Why aren't you setting him up?
Okay, Harbinger Wars. This is issue 3 for Harbinger Wars, but like part 9 or 10 at this point.
It's one of those crossovers.
Well, because there's Harbinger Wars issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and then yada yada yada. But there's also the Harbinger team, and the Bloodshot issues as well.
I like these concepts.
So it's one of those crossovers that takes place over multiple issues of multiple series.
Yes, exactly.
So how do I keep up? So why can't it just be the book called The Harbinger Wars?
Because that would be too simple.
Come
Anyways.
on, Valiant. I thought you were better than the other guys.
Hey.
Cool.
They haven't done a Clone Saga yet.
I give them credit for that.
Anyways, so this reintroduces us to the Hard Corps. Really, it's not going to take much to summarize this, unfortunately. So, at least Valiant made my job a little bit easier this week. So, pretty much what happens in this...
I guess that's a thank you for
and
free advertising.
This is going to make it really difficult not to put spoilers in this, so consider this your spoiler warning for this issue. But anyways,
It's not
so-
fucking armor.
pretty...
Perfect.
Get around to it later. Anyways, so...
It's not the only thing don't get around to later,
Shut
I bet.
Anyways, so what happens in this issue is the Harbinger team is getting ready to fight Bloodshot. Well, Bloodshot is getting ready to fight the Harbinger team because they both think that each other is evil. Also, it should be mentioned that the Harbinger team still thinks that Bloodshot is under the control of, I'm going to screw up the pronunciation to his name, Hanada, who is actually unconscious and is floating in space inside of a force field. Don't ask how.
You know what? At this point, I just accept anything the writers do in comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it involves killing someone. But anyway,
Get off your high horse about it. Okay,
I'll sit on
anyways.
my high horse. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Anyways,
I do.
so
And so
I'm not surprised that it's cool. I know.
so after that
I do.
whole thing, like they're talking, like there are these twins. One twin, she is with Bloodshot, and the other twin is with the Harbinger team, and I guess they get like a miscommunication or something telepathically, and one thinks that the boy twin thinks that Bloodshot is going to eat his sister, and she thinks that the Harbinger team is going to kill her brother. Yeah, I know. Anyways,
do people in comics have no common sense anymore? Did they ever?
not since the 80s. Anyways, so
Damn you, Frank Miller.
after that, we get shown a few panels of the Hard Corps team, and they're... Oh, shut up. It's not funny, okay? It's not a funny name. Just chill.
Go
Anyways.
Go on with your little review.
Anyways, so the Hard Corps team... Shut up. We're really showing our maturity on this episode.
I can't help
Decides that they're going to take out both of them because they can. Because that's why.
Go
So,
with it. Just go with it.
anyways, they decide that they're going to take out both of them. So, well, Bloodshot is racing into Las Vegas, and the Harbinger team is preparing to kind of, sort of kick Bloodshot's ass. The Hard Corps. We're shown at this point that they have very advanced technology, because there's like this eyepiece thing that kind of looks like it's from Dragon Ball Z, but not really, and he can see with it that this little girl is making projections of soldiers and they're not actually there, so he headshots her and she dies.
Okay, you lost me and he kills a fucking little girl.
Because she's making projections of these soldiers, and they can't tell, and like the other ones, his other teammates can't tell which ones are real or not, so he shoots her, and then that kills all the projections.
Still, it's a little girl.
I agree with you,
I have
but
a thing about kids being killed in media.
no, and I agree with you, but you know that's what happens.
Yeah.
But anyways, so after that, we find out that the Hard Corps are in fact on their way, and it was like, oh my god, and then Chris is like, oh my god, they're gonna kill us, and then Peter's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And then Bloodshot's still kind of clueless on the whole situation, and it ends with Chris, who's one of the members of the Harbinger team, about to die, with Bloodshot racing into Las Vegas.
So they're gonna have one last go with Caesar's Palace and then maybe get a hooker.
It's pretty much going to be a three-way shoot 'em out.
Oh god!
Yes, I'm more than sure you're hoping for me to say that with this.
No.
So, so for this issue, it's not great, but it's not terrible. So I'm just going to give it a Netflix. Like if you happen to see it, pick it up. If you're following the series, this is definitely one that you're gonna have to pick up, or you may be completely confused when you pick up the next issue of Harbinger or Bloodshot, whenever that comes out, which I'm thinking is July. I could be wrong. But anyways, I guess on to
okay, well that's good.
Vampirella. Vampirella, sorry. Alrighty, so it's time for me not to judge Noah. Go ahead.
Like, you've never bought a comic with that kind of cover, you asshole.
Actually, I haven't. But continue.
You are not a true man, then. So, we start off, and there's this whole new storyline about apparently Vampirella and her friend, I know I'm going to probably mess up this pronunciation because I'm not good with these kind of names, but Juanas, I want to say, that is probably not Mexican, considering the character is white, but whatever. The Fallen Angel has been sent by the Dominators, or Dominations, I think, to find a Fallen Angel general named...
I'm sorry. He's sent by the Dominators, and she's dressed like... Okay.
Yes,
Continue, please.
And you say I'm immature.
Continue, please.
Wow. So anyway, when they're trying to find the just shut up. Go with it. The Fallen Angel General is Zanuel. So they're trapped in a, I guess, torture dungeon where they're it's not that kind of torture dungeon.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, bro.
That's the reason I'm boss.
So anyway, the Inquisitor, who is planning to hit them with a burning piece of metal. I don't know why. I can hear you doing what you're doing, audience. Please stop. Just saying. Kind of distracting. Aren't you glad I'm on the show this week?
I have mixed feelings about that, like what I have with Superman Unchained, but go ahead.
Anyway, so I'll wrap this up quickly so CJ can get to his problem with Superman. My problem being that he doesn't wear the red underwear anymore, but still. Okay, so basically, they escape thanks to an archangel. They decide to go to a club in Switzerland where
It's a long one.
I'm sorry, okay?
Just in case if I had to edit that part out, we spent like 3 or 4 minutes trying to remember this dude's name.
It was more like 30 seconds, okay?
Whatever.
Now, stop making me look bad.
You do that well enough on your own.
So
Continue,
anyway,
please.
Balthazar finally got the pronunciation right. Decides to test Ezekiel with his new crazy drug that he's making with like the blood of demon angel children or some shit. I don't know. Just go with it. Throws it at everybody and turns them all into like monstrous demons more so than they already were. So Vampirella.
So pretty much he does it because that's why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Vampirella and her friend Johannes, or how do you pronounce his name? I don't know. There's a lot of hard to pronounce names in this book.
Anyways.
The Archangel tells them that apparently these children are the next step in God's divine evolution of humanity. I don't know how that works.
Oh, great, we brought religion into it.
Religion was already into this. There was archangels and a guy named Balthazar. Balthazar was the name of the
Yeah, but that's fun religion.
Yes. So anyway.
Wow,
okay, really. Anyway, so they tell him, thanks for springing us, we're gonna go kill these kids or whatever. Or kill this guy, whatever, and find this phone. Something, I really don't know, I was too distracted by the pretty pictures.
So, rating?
Netflix. Unless
Okay.
you just want it for the cover, then just go out and buy it.
Because we've got like 2 minutes before Netflix decides to give me the finger. Or Final Cut Pro, sorry. Anyways, so Superman Unbound, or Unchained, or Unwhatever. I have mixed feelings about this. And not because it's a Superman book, because there's, like, they try to make it a Superman book, but at the same time try to make it like a X-Files type book.
Oh god, we're going there.
Have you ever seen that show? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
okay.
it, but I don't think it fits in with the Superman.
So I'm not going to tell you who shows up at the end, because that'd be mean. But there are going to be some spoilers in this.
We
So
already spoil enough on this show.
yeah, well, it's a review show. It's kind of hard not to give a review without spoiling some stuff. But
I
anyways,
know.
so pretty much what happens is, I don't know, from my perspective, and again, I'm kind of an outsider when it comes to Superman fandom,
Mm-hmm.
it pretty much just looks like the same old New 52 Superman, except he's taking more risks, I guess. I don't know what they were trying to
He looks a
do
bit
here.
more pissed off on the cover.
Yeah.
And maybe he's been taking a small amount of
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I want to mention about this that really pissed me right off. Okay, DC, when you want me to read a page, don't make that same page a poster. Yeah, I intentionally did not read that page. I don't know how important it was, probably wasn't very important, but I intentionally did not read that page because it was a poster. I enjoy getting posters in my comics, like free posters, because that's always cool, but no.
Trading cards would be nicer if I did that.
Just, like, why? Who thought that was a good idea?
So the poster is on the back of the page?
No, like the poster is the page.
Okay.
Like, you have to take the poster out, open the poster up, and read the speech bubbles that are on the poster. Yeah, someone thought this was a good idea.
What?
Yes.
Are we,
So,
we're really going back to this kind of crap.
anyways, so the worst part is that you have to detach the poster from the book in order to read it. Yeah, that's why I intentionally did not read that page. But anyways, moving on from that.
Probably wasn't that important anyway.
Yeah, moving on from that though. So we find that this satellite is like hurtling towards Earth. Superman, of course, saves everyone because, well, he's Superman. Exactly. And he is looking for these pieces of debris from the satellite, and he finds out that one of them was moved off course because Lois is like, hey, you got your facts wrong. And Clark's like, what are you talking about? So he goes to investigate, and then finds a piece of the satellite underwater, and just as he's about to figure out what the hell's going on, a U.S. submarine shoots a missile at the debris, but didn't realize that Superman was in the way. So they shoot Superman, which, I don't know, I guess pissed him off. We don't see him after that. And it's from that point, the submarine talking to their command base, like, oh god, we just shot Superman, oh, Jeebus, and then the colonel's like, oh, whatever, I don't care, you know,
Keep on one more.
blah, blah, blah. Who gives a crap?
Stereotypical Colonel.
And then this is the best part. Okay, so he says, the real Superman has been working with the United States military for 75 years.
These aren't good.
And then it shows a character that we haven't seen, like, in probably the longest time. And that's it. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Aha, 75 years, I get it.
Yeah, so... And the only two things that pissed me off was the fact that one of the pages was a poster. Like, one of the actual pages was a poster. I want our viewers to understand that. And
You want one more?
second, the ending where they just cut it off, like, they don't even have him say anything. But anyways, overall, good book. I can't give it a Netflix, but at the same time, I can't give it a go and buy it now. So I don't know, somewhere in between. Make up your mind.
For this one.
Anyways, I'm CJ,
I'm Noah. Kingdom Hearts 3!
and this has been the Long Box for June 12th, 2013. Catch you guys later.